After spawning as Gallimimus, you're immediately given a black belt in Taekwondo, because this thing can kick in any direction with enough force to make you rethink your life choices. Also, you might as well call yourself Ezra Miller, not just because you're a known menace, but because you are the Flash. At 55 kilometers per hour or about 34 miles per hour in freedom units, you are one of the fastest things in this game. The only things that could catch up to you are pissed off Carnotaurus and your own stupidity. Gallimimus is an omnivore. That means it enjoys a side of salad just as much as raw meat. So it is understandable that neither herbivores nor carnivores fully trust this elongated bipedal goose. Better prepare your balaclava and baseball bat as well, because this thing will be ready to commit crimes in an hour or so from birth. All of these make it one of the most terrifying dinos in the game. A violent bipedal goose that is too fast, too angry, and will probably come for your children. In my first night, I stayed mostly by the river. Nighttime is very spooky, especially for a lone Gallimimus. Luckily, Gally's night vision is pretty good, but it doesn't help that my real life vision is pretty crap. So it might explain why I failed to see these Ceratos passing by. Once I was fully grown, I was more confident running around. With no Carnos, I was free to do as I pleased. Later, I found fellow crime enthusiasts. I decided to group up with them for safety. In the case we get chased, I did not need to be fast. I just needed to be faster than them. Down by the mud hole, I spotted a lone pteranodon. It looked lost, so I helped it take a trip back to the character screen. Where Gallimimus truly shines is in groups. It has the speed boost ability when in a gang. To activate, you just have to be near your groupmates and press one call.
Loud noises!
This is tantamount to saying, I am speed. You will also receive noise complaints from your neighbor. Everyone around you has a high chance of going deaf, which is a bonus. To improve our speed stats further, we decided to look around for key nutrients. Having a healthy diet for a galley is like drinking 20 cups of coffee within 15 minutes, allowing you to run faster, tire less, and just be an all-around nuisance. Our lunch break, however, was abruptly interrupted by a Carnotaurus.
Hey yo, what's up, bro?
Lucky for us, there were bushes close by. And if you have played this game, you would know that anytime anyone runs off into a bush, it's basically like them disappearing off the face of the earth. Not even Dora will be able to find you in this dense forest. Safe for now. Soon my fellow compadres were at that age where we could now legally commit crimes. So we made our way back to center because that's where the party is at. On our way there, we came across a pack of Omniraptors and had a staring competition. We kinda just stood there confused. One of the raptors decided to creep up behind us while we were distracted. And thanks to my stupidity, in the following seconds I would enjoy a very violent massage. That is when I learned that Gallimimus suffers from hemophilia, because this thing will start gushing blood the moment you poke it with a stick, and it will keep doing so for quite some time. Not even flex tape will save this sinking boat. The void beckoned for me to go to sleep, so I bid my farewells and deflated like a balloon. I quickly spawned back to check the area, and seeing my rotting carcass made me realize that Gallimimus was not as untouchable as I thought. I had to play it safely. I was once again back to adult. I even found a new partner in crime this time. We messed around for a bit. It was all going well until my partner fell into a sticky situation. They warned me not to get too close and that they were going down. But they made the mistake of overestimating my reading comprehension because my 2 brain cells read that as go down. No matter, I could easily come back and regrow another galley. Never mind. This time I went with a white color scheme to reflect what I truly felt at that time. My mind was blank like a piece of white paper. I aimlessly ran around until I came across a bigger galley, who almost mistook me for a Cerato and was ready to pummel my face in. Luckily, I did not have to go back to the void this time. This Omniraptor just pulled off a 500 IQ move. They can't hurt you if you're already dead. But while we were too busy trying to comprehend what just happened, another Omni managed to get a pounce. Knowing firsthand how much damage a full pounce does to a galley, I had little hope for my groupmate here. But just when we were ready to pull out the shovels and start digging, they pulled through. This new group I joined was a bit more violent, which I liked. They chased every child they saw without skipping a beat. And as with bad parenting, I quickly took after them. Further and further I was giving in to the dark side. We wallowed in a mud patch in preparation for further crimes. In the cover of darkness, this provided the perfect camouflage. If you wanted to know where people are, you just have to keep running around until your game turns into a slideshow. Sure enough, our FPS tanked once we came across a pretty big herd of Stegos fighting off Carnos. And once again, thanks to my stupidity, I was sent back to the void.
何ですか?
I did my best to run back as fast as possible to regroup. Unfortunately, they were nowhere to be found. Instead, I found a clown in the woods. We grouped up for safety while on the search for the other galleys. But then, I would soon be reminded that I, and anyone who groups up with me, ends up getting cursed by the game. This time, having learned the ways of the dark side, was ready to carry out the mission. Eliminate all children. A sub-adult Omniraptor ran up to me as I drank from the river, so I immediately gave it a taste of my kicks.
Get your ass back here, boy!
I managed to land a few good hits, which was stacking up bleed. This raptor was a bit too zealous when it came to tapping that pounce button. But eventually, one of them sticks. I was pretty sure we both had fatal bleed at that point, so I had to call it quits and fall back. Once again, I find myself fighting for my life. I sat in the closest bush and waited for my inevitable doom. It was not looking good. I was ready to accept my fate as I watched that bleed go down. But, by a stroke of luck, I started healing at the last moment.
Nice.
With my newfound strength, I went back to stalking and harassing the children in the cover of darkness. I know where you live. You cannot run. There is no escape. Unless you hide in a bush. Then there's probably no way I'd find you. More and more, I kept finding unattended children that kept wandering off. The next day, I spotted a lone juvie carnal. It wanted to take a nap by the shade, and being a good Samaritan, I made sure it had a very nice and long nap. And I was happy to teach their guardians a lesson. A smaller child galley came up to me. And I made him understand that I only had one thing in mind: violence. This was also the point when I learned that Galley's alternate kick attack did more damage and could stun raptors and anything smaller, which was perfect. I felt like I was doing the ecosystem a favor by eliminating future terrorists. Since it takes one to know. This is probably one of the most terrifying things to happen to you as a fresh spawn. Getting chased by a very long, very angry goose with a black belt in Taekwondo. As if I hadn't learned anything, I kept calling out to the other galleys in hopes of raising a child-kicking army. Instead of a galley, a carno picked up my calls. This one was fully grown and was pretty competent. My mistake was trying to play galley like a raptor. Can run fast, but can't turn on a dime. So I ended up killing my own momentum, which ended up killing me. But before I go out, I had one last thing to do. I realized that a fresh spawned galley is just as fast as a full grown one, but with basically unlimited stamina. This meant unlimited child kicking potential. With that in mind, I went back to harass the Carno's pack. I found one of their unattended hatchlings and went to work. It seemed that younger Carnos were not much faster than small galleys, so it was pretty much doomed the moment I found it. The Carno's pack came to help shortly after. But you can't do anything if a galley is out for blood.
Congratulations! 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 Congratulations!
Mission success. But I still needed to try and escape with my life. I zigged the zags and made it to the closest forest. It was pretty much home run from there. How I got out of that alive, I'm not so sure. But if there's one thing I got out of this, is that if you have a black belt in Taekwondo, it's perfectly fine to bully children. That's it for now, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.